And my GUI is very unhappily going. So can't change this character name. I've gotten it to work, but other stuff starts bugging out when I do that. And I went back to this panel and I'm like, okay, why is the background just like dark? But I did get the callback to sort of work. Just testing out the gamepad. So there's a gamepad UI also project. All these nice projects. Today's Stratosaurus, Panorama. The AI mentioned it to me. I was looking up stuff like, how do I use Mesa 3D for my maybe other RTS engine to run LLM in the background or something? The reason for wanting to do this is, let's say the user's video card or something, more compatibility. It's just nice to have like dual drivers, or like, let's say I think Windows 7 would need this, something like this. Windows 7 does support Vulkan, because you could use compute on OpenGL 4.6. But then there's this thing called Zinc. Zinc is a Gallium driver that translates OpenGL commands into Vulkan commands. So that's really nice, actually. That's like, don't have to do all that Vulkan overhead garbage, and it'll just ship like that. So the idea is you ship these DLLs that are the sort of like a driver replacement. But some of these newer libraries, I believe, will are not in that version that where Windows 7 is, but who knows? It might be possible to compile them. And there's a whole like little thing that tells you here. On Windows, you cannot easily replace the kernel mode driver, the one that talks directly to the hardware without digital signatures and OS level installation. However, you can ship user mode drivers, DLLs, in your game loads instead of system defaults. So for Linux, it's like a little easier to do something like this. This is like one of those like cyber wonders. Okay, back to source. Okay, so what we have here is these get downloaded off the internet, off GitHub. When I do get items, defs, I call the Steam API, and then I do a callback. So it actually, once it does get it back, it returns it. Now the way I wrote the print message is I'm using printout. Instead of printf, I'm using message. That messages, I put this into the console so I know it's coming back. One of the gotchas, I was gonna say something important. Oh yeah, there's a memory leak. So I have to clean up the code. Well, I need a panel list panel here, like 2 of them, I believe. I got this like custom little panel here. I can go back and I can go into the inventory. So I've set up like a main menu override. Now there's something really fishy about this, like the AI helping generate part of it. Part of it I did myself, and I like documented everything. But still, I somehow managed to screw it up. In my other version, for some reason, these edit and text entries do work. And I believe they work in TF2 also. And it's like, it'd be nice to get them to work. But I would need to go and be GUI Pro at some mode. And this is where like the road just meets the rock. You have to go through this rock and go into this rabbit hole. Because I really kind of don't want to use Pama or llama or whatever. It'd be nicer to stick to vGUI. There's a couple of reasons not wanting to learn it, and I think the performance is better on vGUI. So vGUI can look nice, but it seems like a lot of work. So Panorama, or whatever it's called, might be better because it's more like HTML or CSS, but kind of stripped more down. So what we have here, I think I need Notepad++ for this. We are going to need to generate some files. Oh, we're in the RTS project. I'm like, why are we seeing this? I'm not going to drink more caffeine today because I figured out that if I just get more sleep, my 4 hours is not good. And yeah, it won't do anything. I'll just be spinning wheels for no reason. I'd rather just kind of look at this. Okay, so we have this item inventory image panel I made. See inventory item image panel. See, like your basic classic. And what it's really derived from is the avatar, the Steam avatar. So it uses some of the same conventions. So it has a 128 by 120 texture, which gets pulled off of GitHub. And it does a callback using the Steam HTTP, sort of like how the avatar works. So instead of getting it off of Steam, it gets it off of my GitHub page, but it's supposed to get the info off of Steam's inventory URL. You could also get it off my database Google server, the game server, the central like game server authentication and all that stuff. And you could just get the URL and download it off GitHub because I'm not using my main server to do the content delivery. I don't want it to be just bombarded with bandwidth. So we call this Init from RGBA, which is basically you're injecting a texture into the material. And a lot of engines, we have this thing called the texture and then a thing called the material. The material is a shader with a texture. That's like my most basic definition of what a material can be. So this Steam image downloader class 3, why did I call it 3? Because it's probably like the third iteration of something. Or let's go take a look. Yeah, so curl image downloader class 2 was the second iteration using curl. Now once I placed the curl DLL inside my bin folder in the source project, I believe maybe curl now works in it. It wasn't working before. I have to try that again. So let's go into the source mod folder. So like your kind of typical source mod folder. I set this up in source mod folder for development, and then I can also set it up for development in a game-based folder, like the other CrimeWars is set up. It's the non-playtest one is set up like this, where you got the exe of Half-Life 2. So if it was Mac, it would have the Mac binary. For this Linux, and have the Linux binary here too. Then the Half-Life 2 NP folder, the platform SDK tools folder, source test. I don't know why, but some of these folders are needed, like HL1 or something. Then there's this binary folder with all the source-sdk-2013 stuff for editing, for Hammer, for stuff. Like this is the older version of source-sdk-2013, like this version. And my newer one yet doesn't have even the conversion to SDK type players and NPCs in multiplayer. And yeah. And I'm sort of deciding to go with the Half-Life 2 type, but converting into SDK, or the other one that I was trying to kind of mess around with was the TF2 new one. Will a lot of the TF2 code get ported anyway? Yeah, because if you look in the TF2 SDK of the 2013 SDK, they put a lot of effort to show off how much work they did to implement all the social networking things. The economy, I think this is for Source Filmmaker or something, the IFM base, whatever this is for. I think this is for some sort of replay thing. Yeah, so there's item pickup panel, item rental UI, a lot of the TF stuff, the next bot code that they introduced, the bot NPC minion, and I believe some of this actually uses, it's also some kind of zombie code for Halloween. Yeah, there's a zombie and the boss. So these are nice because they're really good ways to set up very probably stripped down NPCs without having to port the whole Half-Life 2 NPC multiplayer. But that one is cool too. Like there's, yeah, it'd be interesting to port this. And then there's the lobby and sort of the game coordinator code. The game coordinator is a lot based on Plenum Buff. So what we're looking at, like I opened way too many files, and I love how I do this because then I have to close all the tabs. Because Visual Studio is like this. It's just super overloaded. So subsystem game, let's just close other tabs. What are we in? We're going to need to open the containing folder here. Oh yeah, I was going to show the bin folder. So in the bin folder, the x86 folder, we also have zlib. Zlib is for curl to work. So libcurl.dll we'll call zlib. So we have quite a few. We have the game shader generic for like the test shaders. We also have Steam API 64DLL. So we have quite a bit already collection of DLLs. The other DLLs that'll probably come in is jolt physics at some point maybe. I should actually fix the NPCs before I fix jolt physics, but yeah, that's the argument right there. It's like, which one do you do? Like my own style of zombie and jolt physics and not do the Half-Life 2 NPCs? Okay, so this is the game panel menu panels. So okay, so this is the game menu panel. This is the one that's having trouble with that edit box. And yeah, like I started to do the Steam lobby here. And it's like all over the place. And then the platforms. Game engine programming, DirectX. Yeah, so why am I looking into all this DirectX stuff? It's because there is a way to hook this thing and compile even model 1.1 shaders. To be able to compile shaders die runtime. Now I should probably set that up with model 2.0 and 3.0 first, and then attempt to do the 1.1b. Or I don't know. That's always like one of those like rabbit hole experiments, but it's sort of really cool because it's sort of like DirectX 6. I don't know what it's going to require. I know that the engine prevents you from trying to do this. But okay, so let's get back to the inventory image. Main menu client inventory. Is this the panel that we need to kind of attach stuff to? Okay, yeah, so this is image panel this. So there really needs to be a list panel, a panel list here. And we really need to make this, download this according to the ID here. So this is ID number 101. So, this is so like hard to get started because of the fact that you have like so many kind of random things that you need to merge side-by. Yeah, I love doing these like social networking things. Like once you get it to work, you'll still have like bugs. So let's load avatar image. It gets this URL and it's just set to some static one. This is what we need to change. So one way we could do it, but we could force ourselves to do it. Let's just run this in the debugger for now. Is plug in the char in here. If I don't pass this const char in there, I won't be able to call this, right? Like we won't even. So the image downloader downloads this, and once it's complete, there's a callback class for this. So there's a iMageDownload listener, an abstract class, and it's really cool how this part works. Because I had to write my own like listener, notify the listener of completion. Yeah, so like once this completes, on HTTP request completed, the Steam HTTP request, and I'm using that for the callback, not curl. I had to like rewrite it. And then send this on image download to the listener. The listener then goes back and calls that other class and says, hey, image is complete, do this with the download menu. Yeah. Doesn't seem so cool. And here's the loader. So it loads a PGN. I use SDB.
Так, Гоша, пошли. Зайчика смотреть. Что я одна должна все равно на него смотреть. Гоша, там тараканы скоро пробегут, по бутылкам прятаться.
So we're going to create panelist panel inventory panel and client inventory container. I think that that's the bare metal we're going to need in order to achieve something here. I just want a new instance of Notepad++. Then I want to open this folder directly where I'm going to create these files. It's kind of bad that I'm creating in CW7. I've been kind of version tracking by the CW, like C input text dialog, creating new entities into the engine. Well, we'll do it here, I guess. So we'll just open this listener up here. Just generate these files, or create them. We won't try to use AI generator. Or maybe today we'll just get started with this. It's a good exercise anyway. For source, like this is like a good thing to do, is just to sit here, create these files. Sounds so monolithic, I know. Just create these files and later like get rid of them, but you learn how you want this code to be structured a lot. So this file, so I started out just by creating a file in the VPC. That was like step one. Step two is to make the first line of this file be the name of it. So whenever you copy paste this into LLM later, because you know you will be doing this at 3 a.m. you will let LLM know that this file is this particular file, and then it'll associated memory the thing, and the thing is it's going to associate your class and your code to this file, so it knows to reference it when it tries to code it using its token logic, multiplication, BS, brain. So yeah, that's just like, we have to kind of mention LLMs here. It's just like, who's not going to code source with LLM? Everybody's going to try, hey, make me a motorcycle, make me this, make me that. So what we called this class, I already actually went ahead and here and declared this. Now this, see inventory image panel? What we're going to have to do with this is we're going to have to make another one, I think. The way I made this is pretty nice. There's one little caveat that's messed up. Let's run the code again. Or I mean the game mod. They keep saying this thing in the console, and I never got rid of it, and I should have. One of the reasons I kind of didn't is it still, does the caveat occur still? Maybe I did get it, I don't know. So this also prints out your app build ID and your depot or something. Yeah, it should actually tell you that. Yeah, this thing. On persona state change. So the image icon for the inventory image or your Steam avatar, it can change later. Like you could be playing and you could change your avatar to some sort of, clown face, whatever. The other thing I was thinking is having the game have its own avatars and all that, and sprays. But then you got to be really careful with people upload. So it becomes like you need an LLM in the back end somewhere watching for people uploading butt cracks totally open. That's what they love. That was like the #1 thing that they would upload in TF2. It was just like these nasty pornos, and it's like, oh, great, this person is sick. And he wants us to see how sick he is. Very nice person. That was the biggest thing in TF2 that just kind of like disappointed me. Is like, a lot of the other stuff is cool, but just not, this one is a little extreme. And that screws it up for everybody else, because then you got little kids playing it or something, and their parents are like, oh, or whoever that wants to go out and just prosecute anybody they can, and the government really wants to do that, so then they ruin it for everybody that's just like playing the game and wants to have their own custom logo to promote their stupid YouTube page or something. It's like, so then you have to have LLM in the back end sitting there and watching this crap. Like, oh, Joe Schmo uploaded his spray. Is it a butt crack? Is it whatever? And it's, porn or something inappropriate in some way. But I guess that's one good thing about AI. It's like you can have that auto detected, and if it passes that filter, at least you could say in court, like, our game is good. We have two LLMs double checking the sprays, and it passed the filter, so it's not like we didn't try. And we have a report button, so human can review it too. We don't have a team of 500 people just sitting there and checking everybody's sprays 24/7, because that's economically impossible. This is the feature that people should have the freedom on the internet to do. Alright, so on persona change. So it's like this callback that gets registered when the class gets constructed. Oh, I need to read up on C++ again. It's like, why would you have this garbage? I don't know. I was watching this other stream and they have this other thing. Yeah. Some trick he did in like one of the videos and how to do some sort of threading thing. Yeah, I need to pay more attention to that, but whatever. The one way to fix it, and all it really does right now is, yeah, so if on persona change callback is called, which I don't know why it is. Like, I don't know why. Oh, I guess, no, it keeps getting called. Oh, does it keep getting called whenever? There needs to be some sort of counter. Because there's only 4 of these, and this got called like this many times. On persona state change. So it keeps getting called, like, let's just watch this for a second. I just want to refresh my memory on this. Yeah, so 4 times. You see it. So all 4 of them are having this kind of like callback loop, which is cool. Like there's advantages to this. One of them is like, okay, like your items are being changed. Like let's say like your friend upgraded your gun for you, and you could see it like as it's happening with this system. This is my like 2D platformer experiment inside of source, the GUI thing. And I overrode the keys. Yeah, it's just, so I can still get text input by using this. I technically should just use this, but the asshole-ish thing of doing it like that, all the names of the characters and certain stuff would always be in ASCII, which is good for filtering and bad for like stuff that you want, special character to have. So I might have to go that route. I'm not sure. Alright, so let's just like create these files. Okay, so I kind of went over this. So on persona changed, what causes this to be called? On persona changed callback, right? Callback, persona changed, inventory, image. But where is the stupid thing that says do this every like 5 seconds or 15 seconds? Like, where's that thing? Image pair, yeah, so this IDs the image pair, makes like a map of it, out of it. Alright, so we need the panel list panel now, and the client inventory container. Now I did use LLM to generate some of that, but I don't think I should just go and copy paste that portion of it. I don't even know why. Just because for today, I refuse. This is like the 3rd video for this. It's okay. It's okay to abstain from LLM. There's healthy things about it. Because like, yesterday I got like a bunch of Android stuff done. And this? I think we need like map, maybe string, and we just set a class. The way the image listener sets it up is sort of good. I did say we're going to do util map, item pair, int, item image pair. So item image pair is avatar ID and it uses this fucking reference handle serializer. I don't know what RHS stands for, but that's my guess. Because this is a reference. So what it's doing is it's saying like, if this crap is this crap, or it's less than the ID of the other one, then it's less than. It actually loosely doesn't make sense when you first read this. You're like, why would you have, like, what does this even do? But what it does is it's like a really fancy duplicate checker or something, or something like that. Why would you need this? Because then you could not have to do all this computation. It's like a computer science algorithm, really what this is representing here. It's this operator magic thing. That's what I just like call it in my head, so I don't have to like think about it. Oh, they did this, okay, well, whatever. So that's what Steam used, and I just copy pasted the code and just changed the variable names just for it to work. I've done that for a lot of the source code, and this was done like prior to AI, so this method is actually very proven because you know human wrote it, but humans hallucinate too, and how you could use other human code is also, there's another thing besides AI slop, there is human slop. Now when you mix the two, you get slop to the power of 2, not slop times 2. Or it's an in-between too. So that's where you really need to downplay yourself. And then downplaying too much is bad too. You might as well just vibe code like crazy until everything crashes. But doing the human slop also causes like crashes and unexpected behavior, but reading the books and doing all that also can be bad because you never get anything done. Alright, so enough of gaming inspiration. We're just gonna write this as like a container, the worst container in the world. For now, it'll work. I think we need a struct with a char. It'll just be like map or something, or like, how do they do it? They did this. We're not going to use Steam map, I guess. We'll just use STD map for now, and then we'll see if converting to Steam map will make more sense. I'm calling it Steam, but it's actually Valve, but this cutil map is Valve's version of map. So what they do is they plug in the struct and an int. So this is how we're going to do this. And we're going to call this client inventory item int Client items, I don't know, whatever, we're done. Now we're gonna make this struct and item def ID. So there'll be like a kind of a replica of these def IDs. We might need a reference. I might need to like go look at a bunch of C++ times after this, but for now, who cares? Like, we're just doing the trash version, and then we'll do the garbage version, and then we'll refactor the garbage version until it's like something. And so we need item name, char CZ item name. I guess we'll use 128 or something. We need some sort of other parameters that it's returning. There's like a bunch you could have, but for now we actually have to stick simplistic. Yeah, like we can't do this. Let's take care of all case scenarios where there's attributes and items within backpacks and like super inventory item systems, and this item belongs to my NPC, and all these like control cases. Control yourself into like not being able to code. That also works. And what we need to do is take our information and just like copy paste it. And I think I just failed at that part too. Yes, I did. Cool. I think I just need to copy paste up a little bit. So what we have is the ID, this URL, this URL. But what we don't have is crap. We don't have it's also description. We'll kind of note that it's there, but we won't put it in yet. We need the char CZ icon 200, and that'll be 2048, I believe. No, that has to be a 2000. So I think it's 2000 in database. So we want to just have the same amount. It's a little much. And then we will have CZ icon 128. Even though we don't get the 128 from this result from Steam, we need Steam as the backend, so we need to convert this to 128. And really all we're going to do is use string replace. We really don't need to store two of these, but we will for now. Who cares? And I think, how do we insert into this? I don't care. We're just going to add a method called like add item. It's so stupid because I'm so tempted to use it all on, but who cares? It's like more classic coding here. We might not even get to compile. Like, I want to do this for an hour today because I also wanted to try to do some other crazy stuff. But I wanted to do the stream for fun. Because it kind of forces you into like working on parts of the game that other people would like to be able to do in Source. And it teaches you by learning or something. Okay, so it's this crap. This is a pretty common thing to do. Like, you gotta get good at Bigooty to do this too. To add a stupid list panel And GUI, I mean, GUI is like the easiest thing in game development. Everybody loves GUI. It's just like, oh, include these files, and just like click, and they're like, it's beautiful, and you're done, and everyone wants to play your game because your UI looks incredible. That's all there is to GUI. It's like the best thing ever. Draw these like quads and some text, slap some icons, and we're done. All right, so we're gonna make this list panel. We want an icon. So what this list panel is gonna contain is a panel that has a name of the icon. Actually, we want like a grid list panel. Like panel list panel. That's why I named my panel list panel inventory. So see, it says known problems with panel list panel. On multi-column list panels, the labels are stacked on top of each other. Really? Well, that's good. It's not a bug, that's a feature. Who cares? Alright, so I want something like this. Like, how do I do this? Yeah, so you just say control panel, add item. There's a label. Why is this one broken? Why is there no texture on the first one? I thought that they were gonna say that like it was just gonna be easy. Well, why is this like so complicated? Oh no. Okay. So this just like adds a few items and doesn't do anything much. Calculates this, make sure it's scrollable. It's always fun. So we're basically redesigning Windows here using Steam's Valve's thing. Which I don't know why we're doing it like this. Because really all we need to do is copy like the top of this code here. And don't worry about all this other crap. We'll just need like add item. We won't need anything else for now. See how they have like util linked list data item, and they put the list, the data container right in here. We might need a file our own data container class, so we don't have to have the data container in here. But at some point, it's going to have to access our global data container. But since it's going to be moving the data from like the main panel, because we need to shuffle the data like a deck of cards over and over again until like they become so garbagey that people use them to make battery packs instead of jail cell and other homemade radio stuff. So we need just like this portion of the code. Should we use namespace vGUI? I don't know why they do. And then there's a class called key values. Okay, we'll take the key values class. We won't take the link list. We don't want the link list. The panel list panel is actually already a thing. So we're trying to create a thing that they already have. Let's see. Yeah, there is such a thing as a panel list panel. The vGUI visual schematizer has a panel list panel. So we can actually see how this looks like. So panel list panel, we could just declare. Oh, so this is already pre-cooked for us. Nice. This is a working thing already. Okay. So doesn't fix my other problem that I have. Keep thinking about. Can't believe I can't make a text entry and a character name. It's so stupid. I hate game UI. It's like a different DLL, so it's like controls the game UI. It's like then you have to override something with it, and then the stuff stops working. GUI is so stupid. Okay, so this is using Scheme Visualizer. So how are we supposed to... Can't use the Scheme Visualizer, can we? Yeah, whatever. Let's just compile this. What was this supposed to be called? It was supposed to be called cPanel is panel inventory. Do we want to base it from panel or editable panel? We will need scroll, but it's making me mad because it's making me think more about other things. Scroll, like panel is editable panel, but when you declare a simple class, it's just panel. So we should go with editable panel. Because of the scroll. This has a scroll. Scroll bar, yeah. So it has a scroll bar panel. Okay. Damn it. It's already getting way too complicated. Embedded, MP panel embedded. Now, what does this thing do? Key handle, H item, selected item. Oh, that sounds beautiful. What that thing does? It's like a thing just to control what pointer the thing is pointing to. We might need this. I don't know. We're going to include the item inventory container because we want access to this client inventory item thing. And then, should we pass a reference or a pointer? Let's just pass a pointer of the new item. Then let's just compile this. Let's kind of set it up where it'll kind of almost compile, but it'll trash compile, and then later I'll fix the rest. This will take like days to do this. Not really, but I just want to go to sleep. But the mythology of this part of the thing is true or something. Because we kind of start off from scratch, which is nice. You kind of have like the boilerplate structure. No AI. And stuff. We can put this into here. Yeah, because there's item name. Forgot about that. Oh yeah, I didn't. Let's just put this in here. It'll be like, it's a really good way to reference your garbage that you're trying to parse. Yeah, because this glass bottle has like durability, a model. So we could also render the 3D model on screen. That's really one of the other things to do. I think we need to like include C-base and some other stupid crap for this to actually file later, but I'm gonna ignore all that, you know. But we should put it. Just make this void for now. It could be an int. It's always nicer if it's like an int and it returns something and gives us some feedback. I kind of like using int functions better than voids, but I sometimes feel that voids are like more performant. I don't know. It's just like using C++ too much VM. Should this be an actual object? It's just copying the whole thing in? Like, how does that work? Should we allocate the object and then make it and then just copy it in and then just generate another one? Or pass it in as a reference and just add it to the list after we allocate it? This is what I want to do. I want to pass it as reference after we allocate it as structures. And then delete the other memory. Alright, so let's just generate this, who cares? So we go to the source folder. Tell it I want to add this to the solution. It'll add it to the client solution since it's in the client's VPC. Visual Studio will get mad. I mean, it'll refresh. Reload all, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes it has messages or something. We'll try to compile this and then I'll just go to sleep. So this is how we're starting out our inventory journey. Later we will work with the database and just add stuff and just have it like do stuff for us, but we still need to interact with Steam, make sure we're using their cloud for as much as possible, and then I have to synchronize these items anyway. I think some of these are synchronized, but they could have sub attributes and attachments and all this other. But for now, we just need the very base working. It's just like item definitions and users items. And then later we worry about sub backpacks and attachments and all this like stupid stuff. yeah, I have like few things out of TF and other crap. So let's see what happens. I mean, obviously it won't compile. It didn't include CBase, memory container. Yeah, it's not going to work without CBase.h. It doesn't think it exists. Oh, great. It doesn't even know it's there. Perfect. How wonderful. Okay. So, first we need to add the include here. This one of them includes the other. I forget even which one. Who cares? Yeah. The panel list panel inventory includes client inventory container. So if we include that here, we should open it, right? It's not found in current source path folders. Uh-oh. I mean, what the? It should be. Where did it create those files? Oh no. Whatever. Oh, inside of client? Oh, that's so bad. Why? Alright, so let's just cut and paste. Alright, whatever. No, well, we have to say no. I just don't want it to be in that client folder because it'll just get lost in all that trash. Why didn't it paste it here? Where did we paste it? Oh, main menu. Like, what's the difference between these two folders? There's main menu and there's main menu theme. This is image theme inventory image, and this is main menu client inventory lobby chat. Huh? Oh, so these two folders are a little different. Oops, I'm getting confused with my own naming conventions. I'm gonna have to put that in here. I'll just note about that. Let's just see what happens. Will it open now? It should be in main menu Steam. It should be in here. Okay, so it is. Did this thing find it missing? No. Yeah, sometimes you get that message. So we should include CBase because it's such an easy fix. And then at the end of everything, mem debug on must be included the last C++ file. Yes, we did forget CBase. And then it's just annoying that we have to do all these things. And then the other thing that's kind of crazy is including tier 0 mem debugger in every one of your files. And then some files, like in this project, you don't need to do that. The last part. Which, yeah. You have to really keep track of what you're trying to, like, make yourself go crazy about. Let's open these back up. And not the ones that we don't want. Some C++ files. We need C-base in the front. And this is like our template. Because we're gonna need a lot of these files for a bunch of stupid stuff we want to put. I wonder if some of the TF2 files are like that. I've seen these blank files in TF2. Yeah, most of them are like this, just opening a random file. What was the one? Lobby or something. Yeah, lobby. Keep on trading. Yeah. Oh, they include it like this. Frontier buff details. Should actually search the TF2 source for all the text entry stuff. I think I've done this before. Set editable true, set keyboard info. Yeah, like I tried to do this, obviously. Add action signal this. Add action signal target equals this. That's what they do. When he applies scheme settings, he adds an action signal target this. Does that instantiate its... Let's see. Yeah, like when he creates a text entry, select all on focus always true. Select all on focus always true. Add action signal target equals this. Set cache to enter true. Let's just add this to my code. See if that helps. So we have this character name label. We create a text entry. Now we'll just say, right after we generate it, add action signal target this, okay. It still won't fix our errors right now, I think. Maybe it will. Oh, great, stupid, okay. That's an easy error to fix. Yeah, if I merge the old CrimeWars code and the TF2 code and the Strata code, I wonder how many more lines of code I'll be merging. Just try to do all of that in one day. And then just like not sleep and just see how far I'll get. And just stream for like 40 hours straight. Oh, cool. Just like stupid. Like, the problem is like, I'll get into like the PHP server-side code, but I have that kind of set up to where like, I can just stream that, or something. Yeah, it's just so you have to write PHP, log into your terminal. You can also do it locally in both. Right, like little servers for UDP and stuff. If you want like cool little sub-servers. Alright, so what was the pet problem with this? Overload remember function not found. Oh, duh. Okay. That's stupid. What do we base it on? Panel is panel? Yeah, so when grid control actually gets created, it has to like look like this. But grid control is just a panel, right? Yeah, it's just a panel. It's not an editable panel. So we need to go look at panel as panel again. Do this a lot in Source. I search. The old Visual Studio used to be so much better for Source because you could have two searches going at the same time. And like this one search thing, just one thing for search, it's so bad. Like I think I need to go and look at the new Visual Studio and just see if they have this now. If they fix this. By fixed, I mean have two searches at the same time, or like have some sort of option, or like even search this Visual Studio 2022. If they have some sort of option to where you can do two searches at the same time, because it's really nice to compare like two searches as you're doing it without losing the last search. Because when you do the search, I think it caches now. To see, like, I'm trying to move between text entry and panel is panel right now. And I'm having all this, like, headaches because I can't have two at the same time and just go back to the other one. Now, like, this is a stupid example. Like this, like, yeah, this is like minor example. But there's major ones where you're doing, like, the merge with the multiplayer code. And it's, like, a lot more amplified and exaggerate and what's it called? Orchestrated or something. Yeah. It's like Oprah's. Extravagating or something, yeah. And okay, so we need this in the constructor. The parent panel, which will be this, the panel name, which will be that thing, and then that gets passed into this other thing. It just keeps getting passed. Because from editable panel, it gets passed into panel. It still doesn't know what this type is. It's this. I know why though. This is this stupid thing. Let's get rid of that. Let's just get rid of it. For now. Really, I should just deprecate that so I can never uncomment it back. Does not support default ends. Why? Who cares? Your face, I don't care. Damn it. We also need to create a inventory item panel. Oh, that's what I remember today. We need to create an inventory item panel. Wow. Yeah, so you need to create this little container panel. And that will hold the image panel that has the loader thing. We'll just get this to compile and then we'll try to make that file. Okay, why does it not recognize this type? This is undeclared identifier. Yeah, right, okay. Why? Did we put it in the wrong place? No, it's here. It's a private. Oh, it's because of this. Like, I don't know how we did this. But I remember, oh, I know how we did. We put it into the C++ file instead of the H, I believe. Yes, that's exactly what I did. Oh no. It's a really common thing to do, C++. Okay, put it here. Oh no, and now it should like it. It'd be nice to go read all the economy stuff in TF2, but theirs is more based on the game coordinator and chronobot that they've generated. Not this simple, like, half-life 2 mod style one that I'm making. More an SDK type. Okay. So this will compile and run, but the panel won't show much. It'll just be like blank. I don't know what it will do. It shouldn't crash, but it might mess things up. Who knows? So what we should do is continue this later. Frame rate drop. Yeah. Because the webcam is dying. Yeah, so I wanted to include a llama, but I need a separate DLL for that because I can't compile C++ 21 or 17 into source. Because if you look at the solution, and go to properties, it says that it is C++. I should actually know the answer, by the way. Which version of C++ this is using. Does it even tell us? Yeah, default ISO standard 14. But what if we upgrade this? Like, will it allow us to use standard 20? That's an interesting thing. Yeah. I'll just write that down. Try source C++ standard 20 plus run. I'll make a later experiment because then you can compile like other stuff straight into the DLL statically. Just like so much simpler than having to include DLLs. Alright, like, why am I lost in this file? Okay. We'll need at least 2 more files later for this. It'll be, panel underscore inventory.
Panel. I don't know what else. Panel inventory item panel. guess the webcam died. Cool. Perfect. Good place to leave off.